Find functional hilarity at the Biffa Emporium. Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I sing to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly. Well, let's get into it. The energy already seems contentious. It already seems contentious. I've seen a few clips, but I've got to watch the whole thing to get my own opinion. But it don't seem contentious on Amanda's part. But when Shannon said, how you gonna welcome me in my own house? I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I don't think the pre-interview went that well. I gotta say, I love her outfit. It's bright, it's colorful. I'd wear that shawl. You know I love a shawl. So she mentions that she's been recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. But I have friends that have autism and they're quite lovely people. So we ain't gonna blame this on a touch of the tism. Okay, now Amanda, you want to say these things that they're accusing you of aren't action-based, but in the articles written about you, they listed off the things that you did, i.e. the whole thing with Sean King and Samir Rice, Tamir's mom. Or the hearsay you posted about that black doctor saying that he had assaulted someone when that was a rumor that was proven to not be true. But you spread hearsay. So they are action-based in their accusation. So Amanda says all her life no one's liked her because she's extra, because she's a show-off. I mean, I have to say, a lot of people that have met you, you do rub the wrong way. And I'm talking about people I know personally. I know two people. Chris worked with you. And I'm friends with a girl you went to school with at Purchase. So, these are people that are in my life that I know, that I trust, that I'm also a lot of a personality. I'm also a high-energy person. People still like me. Oh, Lord. So Shannon Sharpe is doing the thing that people do when they act like they know more about you. This is the, he's giving typical boomer right now. Oh, well, just because you have a touch of autism doesn't mean that... Girl, she's telling you I just got diagnosed. Her mom said she's had these symptoms her whole life. So maybe this is why she has problems relating to people. Aw, she's single again. I remember in her interview with, was it Jason Lee? She was talking about she had gotten back with an ex, with the ex from like her 20s, and they were all mature now, and she just seemed really happy. I was hoping that she had stayed with him. She always do keep a man though, never for that long, but they at least stick around. She got more men than me. Then she tells a story about how her teacher was being racist, talking about Aborigines are a Stone Age people when they're native people living in Australia like everybody else. And she calls out the racist roots of this, and she calls this out for racism. Everybody else in the room sees racism, and Shannon gonna say, well, no teacher wants to be corrected. You are missing the point. Is CTE setting in? CTE might be setting in because you sound stupid. This is also that baby boomer shit. If a child corrects them, if the child writing you the teacher, why you trying to teach misinformation? If you trying to teach, you should be trying to get the most relevant information possible. So we get to this story about Amanda and this teacher that she has. And the problem the teacher had was Amanda was correcting her because the teacher said that the Aborigines were a Stone Age people, and that's not true. But Shannon then tries to say, well, wouldn't any teacher not want to be corrected? It doesn't really matter. One, if you're a teacher, you have to be open to being corrected because you're trying to educate. So that means you don't want to be giving out misinformation. But Shannon, why are you trying to take the racist side on this? Like, all three black people in the room were like, oh Lord, here this teacher go again. Everybody knows what this is. And the way he said most teachers would feel a way if a child corrects them. I feel a way when a teacher is incorrect. What the hell you spent all that time in school for to come out and give me misinformation? Amanda said, that ain't for me to surmise. Lord, this interview gonna make this heifer likable. I can't believe it. See, you on that kid stay in your place. Adults are speaking. Adults are loud and wrong. They are overgrown children. Just because you old don't mean you smart, don't mean you wise, and don't mean you are entitled to my respect. Then you talk about where you grew up, and she's talking about what happened with the white teacher. Why are you trying to make this something it ain't? You sound like CTE setting in, or maybe some lead poison. So then Amanda goes into her racist treatment at Disney, and she's like, now, was this racist enough for you, or do you think this was something else? Do you think it's open to interpretation? Lord, you unleash the dragon now. But let him have it, Amanda. Let him have it. Oh, my God. He said they're kids. He gonna say, oh, well, they're kids. You never said anything derogatory. Are you for real? What kind of Uncle Tom apologist mess is this? I see why your interviews have only been good with people that really just get on there and talk, and you throw in a uh-huh or mm-hmm. Because Cat Williams really interviewed himself, and so did Monique. Then he gonna say, if you told me parents were saying this, where do you think the kids are getting it from? Are you for real? Like the kids that would pick on me for being gay, where do you think they got it from? Children must be taught hate from somewhere. Idiot. The look on Amanda's face, she is like, oh my God. Are you Amanda is not one to play devil's advocate with, and she is being honest, very blunt about easily identifiable racial aggression she experienced, and you're poo-pooing this. This is going to get so many people on Amanda's side. This is proving her point in a way. Two things can be true. So then we get back on track, and she talks about her early acting days, and I remember her from My Brother and Me, and I loved that show. And I can't believe there was only one season, but yeah, they would air those reruns forever. That was such a good, wholesome kids show. So Amanda explains that she is a scholar of race, and not to be combative, but be contemplative, and he says, I'm not being combative. You are, Shannon. You are. This is Aki Boo to watch. Shannon, she says you're negating her experience based on your experience, and then you said, well, based on my experience. That's just what she just said. She's telling you her experience, which you haven't had. Why do you doubt that the teacher was racist? Girl! Well, this is your interview, so I'm not going to interject. Oh my God. Amanda, if you hadn't burned so many bridges, you could have gotten somebody better to do this interview. Maybe that's why the Essence lady wouldn't sit down with you. Also, Amanda Seales is not half white. Her mama ain't white. Her daddy ain't white. Ain't nobody white. That has been a rumor that I've heard about her, but everybody that I know that knows her said, no, she's black. So she talks about the stuff that she had to go through in school. She ended up getting kicked out of the conservatory, which is how she ended up getting her degree in African American Studies. Her thesis is very interesting. I'll give her that. These interviews don't need to be 3 hours. So now we get to the Floetry story, and she said, I was told Natalie left. So the audience wasn't feeling her because it wasn't the original Floetry, and Marsha wasn't feeling her either. So she thinks Marsha wanted her to quit so she could just go solo. Amanda says that her deep hurt comes across as anger. Maybe that's your issue. You need to tell people that you hurt. Learn how to come across as hurt. Oh God, you're empathic? More like pathetic. She was at Sirius as a radio host for a few years, but then she got fired from that. She won't give us the honor of naming who was fired, but he had a little chain and a high booty. Now we get to the Emmy party. This interview is meandering, but Amanda hasn't gotten on my nerve. I'm shocked. So she gets to the door and she's on the list of not allowed in. So Kendrick Sampson is trying to get her in the party. So she trying to get in, and then security asks her to leave. And she wants to know why, and the guy says, well, the publicist is asking you to leave, and she says, well, tell the publicist to say it to my face. So after she get put out, Issa says she had nothing to do with it and asked her to call Nessa. Nessa called her and say, I don't like you, so Amanda's like, okay, and hang up. Then they have her call her back. She's like, well, don't you want to know why I don't like you? She said, that's not my business. Talk to your therapist about that. And then we get into the insecurity. She feels like Issa just didn't like her, didn't like the character that she wrote for her, and didn't protect her or try to help her career. She was just an actress on the show. She said, I don't know how I could be a mean girl on the Insecure set when I'm just an actress. It's not my set. You can still be a pain in the ass. Oh, she says Sarunas is an earthworm gym-looking dude. And she's not wrong. When Sonaris got that girl on set pregnant, was it canola oil? He was acting like he didn't want to claim the child, or there were rumors about it. And Amanda went to him and said, look, people talk about you behind your back. I'm just letting you know what's what and who's who. And then you're going to say people don't like me when I was honest with you. I could see that going wrong because you're still inserting yourself in somebody else's paternity business. She says Issa didn't feel like she deserved protection. Oh, Lord, now we got her attacking the hack writers that wrote articles about her. And again, they gave actual behavior that makes people think of you the way you do. But now you're going to call them hack writers being paid by APAC. Now you want to talk about it's not right to attack character without reasons, but you attack that man over hearsay. She's been forced to go on this journey of self-trial by fire. No, you could have not engaged and just done your show. You also feel the need to take everybody's comment and respond to it, which is part of your problem. You don't have to respond to everything. And if you want to prove these comments untrue, not responding is step one. You ain't got to talk about being better, just be better. So then she goes on her little pro-passport rant, but doesn't address the fact that wages are very low and a lot of people just don't have money to go out of the country like that. Then we go on about the real, and she's like, I didn't have issues with any of the ladies. It was the executive leadership, and we couldn't talk about anything real, even though they never talked about anything real. Now, these articles caused you to have a nervous breakdown, Amanda, because none of them were truly calling for your cancellation. They were calling out your hubris. I don't see why an ego check would cause you to have a nervous breakdown. The articles were not that harsh. Oh, now she bring up Myron Roll. I was put in a bad situation and I had to make a judgment call. You could have kept your mouth shut. Oh, God. So then she starts talking about her exes and she loves black men because she done paid for their prison fees and pro-baby fees and child support. She uplift the black man. This is just so much. If you were just quiet and just walked in your walk rather than talking this talk, I think people would just see what you're doing. Like, focus on your community work. Focus on your giving back. Focus on your art. But you over-explain yourself, and honestly, we don't care anymore. See, Amanda, I can't even finish this interview, and I think I am finished, because we got about 15 minutes left. I've listened to you for 2 hours and 46 minutes. Hit up the cash it. This was a true labor of love, and also agony, because we didn't learn anything new. Shannon, well, we did learn that Shannon's not a good journalist. He did show his misogynoir. But Amanda ain't give us nothing new. However, you said you were diagnosed autistic at the beginning of this interview. Then you get on your Instagram and you weren't diagnosed autistic. See, it's this odd relationship you have with the truth and just so many things. Like if you feel like you're neurodivergent, that is fine. But then either go get tested, don't go get tested. But don't say you are something, then say you aren't. This is why people have issue with you. This is the hubris. I'm not paying $10,000 to get diagnosed. Oh, God. Girl, you need to worry about getting your Kaiser health care. Out here doing interviews with lies. At this age, I don't need a clinical diagnosis. Oh, this is the issue. This is it right here. This is why people don't like you. I was about to be like, well, maybe it is a touch of autism. A touch of autism. Because you ain't even got a no. It's a touch of lie. That's what you just like to hear yourself talk. That's really what this interview has been. Just you hearing yourself talk and us trying to pay attention. She's a genius. She's creative. She's generous. She's fabulous. She's everything. She's earth, wind, and fire. Every woman. I have listened to enough of this. I don't think we're going to get anything new in the last 15 minutes, but I'm going to see you soon for Love and Hip Hop. Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly. Allegedly. Don't blame. Don't sue. Allegedly. Allegedly.